I have clients who are from Bali, for example, who came here thinking Hawaii is like Bali. It's not.
It's not.
Not at all. In some ways, yes, and in others, not at all.
We're here for another episode of Aloha Ambitions, and I'm excited to introduce Soraya Letournel.
Hi.
Soraya's a local top-performing agent, and she's here on Big Island on the west side. And Soraya, I think you do anywhere from probably Captain Cook all the way up the Kohala Coast?
Yes, that's pretty much what I do. I'll go all the way from Captain Cook area, which is huge, right? So I would say 2 steps is kind of what I like, not further than that. And then all the way down to Hawi, Honoka area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so you do, what kind of real estate do you do? Do you specialize in anything, or?
My specialty is mainlanders. So I help people from the mainland who are trying to find properties right here on the Big Island and who don't know much about it, whether it's like the resort area or just looking for a farm or places with land and just don't know all the intricacies of the different neighborhoods. And so I kind of help them understand all of that, and also the differences in the elevation too. So yeah, because I mean, that's pretty important to your lifestyle.
Totally. Yeah. The elevator, I mean, we know that being here at 1,500 feet, it's a lot different than being down in Kona.
Sea level. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, that's great. So I met you on the real estate trail, doing open houses, saw you quite a few times. And it's always great because every time I see you, you're always smiling, you're always doing something, typically videoing, probably sharing those with clients. And we also found out through a previous conversation that we have somewhat of a similar background in engineering.
I know. That's so wild.
It is. It is. So you have a chemical engineering background, right?
Yep. I'm a chemical engineer and biomedical engineer by trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you also have a unique story too. So you originated from, where was it?
Like where I went to
Tunisia?
school? Oh, I'm from France and Tunisia is a small country in northern Africa.
Okay. And then you came through France and then eventually through, was it Texas to Big Island?
Yeah. So the story is that my mom works for the French government. She's a diplomat over there. And so we kind of grew up traveling every 4 to 5 years in different countries. And then, so that's how I ended up in the US, in the DC area, of course, like where the embassy and everything is. And then they threw me into the American system, went to an American high school, learned English there, got a scholarship, went to college at Bucknell University.
Okay.
And then as a chemical engineer, you typically end up in Texas at some point in your career, doesn't matter. And so I started my career in Texas. So I went there, met my husband who grew up in Oahu. So that's the connection to the Big Island. And so we came on vacation and I could really see, living here. I mean, it's beautiful. How could you not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, found the same thing. The day we landed on Big Island when we came here, just fell in love with it the first day. So I can, so do you miss Texas?
I miss H-E-B, which H-E-B is a grocery store.
Okay.
I miss that. I miss my family, Mexican food, friends, things like that. But overall, like the lifestyle in Texas, I don't really miss it. I like the Big Island much better. And I feel like I can always go back to the mainland and get my fix of whatever I'm missing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I can totally relate to that. So I've got 2 grocery stores that I love.
Yeah.
One is Trader Joe's.
Yes.
So when we go to California, it's always like the first stop is Trader Joe's.
Sure.
Just for something silly. And then the other one is, to go to Oahu and go to Whole Foods.
Oh, yeah. I wish we had a Whole Food here. There is a Trader Joe in Maui, too. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can fly over there and get your
kidding
fixing.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's just change okay. Your life.
You just, all right. I got to process that. Yes. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. So Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. Yeah, that's great stuff. So, so Big Island, you just love, you loved everything about it. So what do you love about being here and what do you do for fun?
Sure. What I love about the Big Island is how quiet it is. I think living in Texas and Houston and Corpus Christi, there was a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of traffic all the time, a lot of angry people. I mean,
Yeah.
versus here, it just feels a lot more aloha. I've always lived by the ocean growing up. And although, you know, Corpus Christi is by the ocean, it just didn't have that feeling that I had growing up. So I feel always grounded being around the ocean. I love the Big Island because of all the nature. I'm somebody who loves being outside, being in nature. To me, the Big Island is a playground. You can do so much fun stuff in the water, and then you can see lava when you get on land. So it's just crazy to me. So it's really, really wonderful, and I really, really like it.
That's awesome.
So as far as like fun stuff that I do, I used to do triathlons, so I always have like this passion of running, cycling, and swimming. So anytime I can get in the ocean and swim out there, I love that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, there's so many different spots here and so much to see. Honestly, like probably some of the best reefs around to just go snorkeling.
Yeah. I don't dive. I think you dive, right?
I do.
Yeah, I don't dive because I don't want to see sharks.
Yeah.
I want to just block it from my mind when I'm swimming. But I do enjoy seeing all of the little fish and the life over there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've only ever seen big sharks when there's been fish, bloody fish in the water.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. So you know, stay away from bloody fish, and I think you'll stay away from the sharks.
Okay.
Yeah. That's totally, yeah. So triathlons, what's your favorite leg of the triathlon?
The swimming. I'm really good at cycling. I didn't know that until I got into like triathlon. I hate the running part. I'm tall and just not built for that. And so running has always been a pain in my butt.
Yeah.
But I love the cycling and I love the swimming. I swam throughout high school, so swimming in the ocean is like therapeutic and really fun to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Well, so back to real estate. You mentioned that you really help people moving to Big Island. What do you see in that demographic right now? Any challenges or anything that you see in that kind of market?
Yeah, the biggest challenge that I'm seeing right now is that people have to sell their home in order to move to the Big Island. And so just in itself, it's very difficult to figure out all of the timelines and make it all work. And I always have a few tips and tricks when they're talking to their real estate agent on the mainland to figure out, okay, we need X amount of time. Here's how you can suggest to your agent to negotiate the contract so that everything falls into place. I would say that's the most difficult part. Most of the time, they also have pets, which in the summertime, it's hot. So getting your pets to the Big Island or out of the Big Island is also difficult. We only have few airlines that allow for the pets to go in the cargo under. So just that whole thing has kind of been a nightmare for poor people from the mainland having to deal with all of this.
Yeah. I mean, you bring up a great point. When we moved here, there were so many different things to kind of take care of. And I wish we had somebody to walk us through the process, right?
Yeah.
How do you ship things? Where do you ship it?
Yeah.
Pets, you know, all the logistics.
Who to go to, right? If you're trying to ship all of your belongings, right? Because there's all these third parties that essentially use the same two companies. So if you go directly to the vendors, maybe it's cheaper, more affordable. Or if you have, I have one of my clients who had 5 pets. There's only 2 of them. And I had to bring them here. And the first time they moved to the Big Island, now granted, they are in a different price point than you and I are, but they rented a private jet from California to bring their pets because it was cheaper than figuring it out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Back and forth. Now there's services that do that for a more affordable fee. You don't have to rent a jet, but just things like that, they're just kind of difficult to deal with to move to the Big Island.
Okay, so either don't get 5 pets or just plan on renting a private jet.
Exactly.
Okay, one or the other. All right, makes sense. Okay, so you kind of already mentioned, but who are your ideal clients, and what are some of the challenges and joys that you have working with those ideal clients?
So my ideal clients are from the mainland. Typically, they are in their 30s to 40s or approaching retirement. Some of them are business owners. Some of them are, employees for different companies, but they've come to the Big Island for years. That's typically my niche clientele, the people that I really help. They've been coming here for years. They really know the area, but they really haven't looked at it from a living and residential standpoint versus just vacationing. And so there are a lot of nuances when you're looking at, living on the Big Island versus vacationing on the Big Island. You might not want to be next to a hotel, when you live here, things like that. So the joys to me is I love explaining to them all the different neighborhoods, understanding their needs, right? So what's the ideal lifestyle? And I would say the pain is really coordinating the move and figuring out, okay, what do we need to sell your home for on the mainland? Or what type of financing really works for the type of property you're looking for? And then how do we make that happen going forward once we've narrowed down on the lifestyle and the areas that work for you?
Yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle fitting all the pieces together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have to be happy the whole time because it's a fun time, right? Like
yes.
You're moving to the Big Island.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing, and we were prepared about this. Like it kind of goes hand in hand, but the aloha spirit along with the island time, those are like kind of the two things. But you can never be in a rush to have things done around here.
Yeah.
And that was to me, like that's one of the important things to share with people is that you can't come here and be in a rush. You have to come here and
have the right expectation. Yeah, for your lifestyle. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you kind of already mentioned this too, but based on your experience, what advice would you give to people wanting to invest in Big Island right now?
Like as an investor or as a residential person?
Maybe one of each.
Okay. So if you're an investor, I would say learn your lesson from Oahu, looking at all of the permitting and the zoning, being changed and the availability of short-term vacation rentals being taken away from some areas, and maybe invest in resort zoned areas instead. I think some of the investors I've dealt with from Oahu want to now buy single family homes that are grandfathered in with a permit for short-term vacation rentals. And I caution them that at this time it's allowed and all these things, but the same thing could happen again, right, in the future. We don't know where the future is going, just like they didn't know what would happen in Oahu. Wow. So I tried to steer them into purchasing in a resort zone area where their money is a little bit, or their investment is a little bit more protected than other areas. From a residential standpoint, I would say as an investor, maybe look in more established areas or look for opportunities in land. There's a lot of great buys right now in land with the prices going down, in some areas. And there are niches around the island where I think if you parked your money there, you could make quite a bit because the island's not going to be that available for very long. And they're in really key places where you can do a lot with the zoning of those properties.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, you know what? That's one thing that I didn't really think about when we moved here. There were quite a few lots available sprinkled throughout, and now you don't see that as much.
They're gone.
Yeah.
The developers are buying them out, and they're holding on to them until the price of building is lower, or they're trying to figure out the happy medium. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The happy medium. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And there's a lot of properties that are grandfathered in that are vacant land right now that have multiple meters for water or power or things of that nature that would really allow you to build multiple properties. So just from an investor standpoint, it could be a really great investment.
Yeah, that's great. And then back to your first point about investing in investment properties. I mean, that's a refreshing take that I have never heard before.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's great. It's great. Honestly, and it's honest, but looking back to what's happened on the other islands, it is, the resort areas are protected, but the residential communities that have short-term rentals, what could the future look like for that? That's a great perspective.
Yeah. You hope for the best, right? Everybody wants to be positive and think that it's going to be like this for years and we can all eat cake. However, I like to always think if it's a really large investment, it's better to just have it protected, and it's all relative to each person's budget, right? And so if I'm planning, like I have some clients where I plan and the parents will come to me thinking, this is going to be a multi-generational buy, where we will come as families and recreation there. However, I wanted to stay in this trust for multiple generations and I want this to be an income for the family, then I have to look at it and tell them, okay, like I'm thinking 20 years down the line, what could happen, what could help you or not help you, and so that's how I look at that.
No, that's great. I mean, that's a really good perspective. Well, great. So, personally and professionally, looking over maybe the next 10 years, what are your goals personally and professionally?
Personally, I would love to have a family and start building that. I think that would be really, really fun, have little ones running around. So that would be a personal goal. Another personal goal would be to get back into triathlons, of course.
Oh, cool.
I want to do some of the races here, like the Honu. I don't want to do the Ironman World Championship. Not interested in that. I leave that to my husband. From a professional standpoint, I'm looking into opening my own brokerage at this time. So I'm taking all the courses to be a broker and then eventually open my own brokerage and do property management. I think that would be great.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you mix it all together, but yeah, congratulations. That's
I mean, future congratulations.
No, I mean, congratulations that you not only have the goals, but you're taking steps towards achieving them. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. It's kind of boring, but taking the class.
I mean, well, I think
it will be fun.
Yeah, I think that stuff's super interesting. So that's great. Good for you. Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure. All right. Well, so is there anything that we haven't covered today that maybe you wanted to cover that you want people to know?
I honestly, the Big Island is a great place to live, and it does have its pros and cons. So it's just a matter of thinking about your lifestyle and whether or not it fits your vision. I have clients who are from Bali, for example, who came here thinking Hawaii is like Bali. It's not.
It's not.
Not at all. In some ways, yes, and in others, not at all. So it's just a matter of like having a consultation with somebody that you trust, that you feel like you can assimilate with, who will have your best interest and work with you. So with all my clients, I do a buyer consultation where we kind of talk about, okay, this is the vision of my life in Hawaii, and these are the homes or properties that I'm interested in. And then typically I suggest other areas where the properties aren't for sale yet, but they have, a turnover of one property a year or maybe 2 or 3. And so it may not be on the market yet, but it will be soon. Right. And so I try to understand what their needs are and then see what fits or what doesn't. I will tell them if something seems unrealistic for Hawaii or doesn't align with how Hawaii is.
Yeah. That dose of reality sometimes or whatever, guide them in the right direction.
Well, Hawaii has one of the highest highest rates of mainlanders who come and then within 2 years leave. I don't know if you read those statistics, but it's pretty scary. And after 2 or 3 years, they usually have a divorce or they completely leave the island and never come back. Wow. And in my opinion, it's because they just don't have the right expectations of the lifestyle and what it's going to be like. And so that's why I really focus on that, because I want people to be happy.
Absolutely.
Because I love the Big Island, and so I want to make sure that they love it too.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's about, helping people and about the relationships. And yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, yeah, well, good. Well, if people want to reach out to you, how can they connect with you?
Well, there will be my information below in the caption area. My name is Soraya Letournel. You can easily call me, text me, or reach out to me with the information below. And my phone number will be right here.
That's awesome, Soraya. Well, this has been great. Thank you for joining us on Aloha Ambitions, and looking forward to, doing business with you and seeing you around town. That's great.
Thank you. Thanks
Aloha.
for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, you got it.